Hey folks, so yeah, I just the other day got a call about coming to look at a collection of records. Fairly big collection, somewhere around 300 records, I think, give or take on either side. I think probably closer to the like 320 or something. I didn't count. Um, but what was really interesting about it was the person described it as primarily as just punk music. Um, and for those who collect records, some of the most desirable stuff now is punk, metal, especially, um, 90s pressings and 80s hardcore and things like that. And they sent me a list, and it was just, yeah, kind of one of those lists you love to get. So I was pretty excited. I headed out and was able to procure said records. I can't remember total. I think it was like 1,800 bucks all in, which per piece is actually pretty fair. It's more than what as a picker you want to spend, but when you get things like this that are this good, you sort of just say, okay, no problem. I also got not just the 33s or LPs. I also picked up just a collection of, they also had 7 inches. And there's some pretty great stuff in there, the least of which, probably the best of, I'll show you, would be that Discord Records. I'm just going to keep repeating that. Wow. Collection. It's just a reissue of the first 6 releases on Discord. And so you've got Minor Threat on there, and Brutal Youth, and I think a couple of other. The first 6 they ever released, they're kind of legendary and nearly impossible to find the originals of. So Discord re-released them in a box set fairly recently, and so that's in there. I think I'm going to do that as a separate video at some point, because just the time on this one is going to be fairly big. Now, I'm not going to lie. I really stopped focusing. Music was everything in my life. I worked for a record label for a while. I worked in record stores throughout my life. But right up until around the sort of mid 2000s, like 2005 to 2008, I sort of stopped following newer music, and especially a lot of the stuff that's in here. So some of this stuff, I'm going to fully admit it. I'm a 52-year-old man, and I don't know, I'd say half of these bands offhand. A lot of them I do the earlier stuff that comes in from the 80s, like the Kennedys and Ramones, and obviously stuff like that. I know inside and out. But there's also, the thing I should say is that while there are some 90s original pressings in here, a lot of this stuff is 2000 reissues of some of the more classic 1990s records. But even still, I was kind of shocked to find the value in some of those reissues, because I know that 90% of the time when a reissue comes out, it just doesn't have the same kind of value. But in this case, it did. Plus, there's a lot of like limited pressings and things like that. So I will just get into it. Please excuse the mess in my place. There's my coffee table, which, if you look, it's a really nice Pearsall biomorphic coffee table, but it's covered in stuff because my wife will soon be moving into my workspace with me to do her online selling. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So excuse me, here we go. I'm just going to go through them. Some of them I'm going to name, some of them not, but these are a bunch of 10 inches that were there at the start. These, as far as I know, are all original. Get Up Kids. You know what? I don't even know what that one is. Black Flag. Yes, I know Black Flag. The Damned, and I Spy. So this is, I think it was originally released in 2001, no use for a name. I think this is a 2006 pressing. This is a Rhino Records 2009 reissue of the Smiths. They remastered it because Rhino does that with almost all their releases, and issued it on 180 gram vinyl, so that is amazing. Canadian band. This is a reissue of Lowest of the Low. I think Shakespeare in My Butt. I think this was their first record. Kind of a classic. I don't know if it ever actually originally came out on vinyl or not, because it would kind of hit right in the middle of the CD era. So great, great. I think they're a Hamilton band, if I remember. I know they're Ontario for sure, because actually I've probably seen them at least twice. Now, here's one of those things that you always hope to come across in a collection. This one's a little beat. It's got some scuffs. It's got some surface marks. I haven't checked to see if it plays through, but I'm pretty sure it's going to play through without a problem. Nice thing about some of the metal records is you don't hear that stuff just because they're so loud. This is Metallica's Master of Puppets. It's a 1986 Canadian pressing. It also is a slightly rare version and sought after version because it has the distribution address that goes above the track listing on it. There are two versions, one that goes down below, which apparently there's more of, and this one which goes above. And for people who collect Metallica, that's a big deal. So yeah, that was kind of really nice. And obviously, like, I've had this record many times. It always sells pretty well and sells for a good dollar. The price has gone crazy on it ever since it was focused on featured in Stranger Things. Just like the Kate Bush song, this sort of has driven the prices of originals through the roof. This is amazing. It's a 2013 MoFi master recording, and it's a limited numbered one. If you're familiar with vinyl, you've probably come across some of the MoFis. Recent controversy in that they finally said that yes, they do use some digital sourcing, and you know, but the masters are still supposed to sound incredible. My ears are shot from being at too many shows for years, so I'm not an audiophile. I don't hear the difference. I have a decent system too, not a great system. It's not some $100,000 thing, but I can't hear the difference that much. But the nice thing about this one is it's a really early number on that, 472. And I know people who collect these things always seem to want the early numbers, I guess, because it means the pressing plate is still fresh. Not 100%. 2008 reissue, 180 gram of the Nirvana classic Nevermind. Again, this is one of those ones where the reissues still carry pretty good value. Propagandy, this is a 2007 US repress. And yeah, again, same thing. Like, I'm going through these, finding out that records from that era, which generally, you know, reissues, I don't generally mess around with them too much. Clearly from now on, I'll have to start paying a bit more attention. Ramones, 1978 original on, I think this was GRT, Canadian pressing. This one is immaculate. The cover is fantastic. The record itself is incredible. Limb Lifter, it's a white vinyl 2012 pressing. Dead Kennedys reissue, remastered in 2002. I'm actually probably going to keep that. Nirvana's Bleach. This is a reissue. It's nothing. It's a fairly recent one. Still great, you know, for somebody who just wants to get it on vinyl. Green Day's Kerplunk. This is 2008 reissue, I think. Same with all these. I think they must have reissued several of them around the same period of time. Again, pretty good dollars on these if you start looking at comps. Green Day's Insomniac, same thing. Excuse me. Sunny Day Real Estate. These records I all know. I love Sunny Day Real Estate, but yeah, so it's a really nice reissue again, from around the early 2000s. Nas, this is a 2000. I should probably put my glasses on, and the camera ain't helping either. But again, early 2000s. Misfits, they were pressed. This is a Minor Threat. It's actually, I believe this is a. Is it a UK copy? No, it's a USA, but it's on green vinyl, I think, again, from 2008. If you don't have the original, that's sort of one of the next best ones. Another Misfits 12-inch. Millencolin. Me First and the Gimme Gimmes. Sniff You. Yeah, you can see this collection. Now, this is, for me, amazing. Mudhoney's Super Fuzz Big Muff. I was a huge Mudhoney fan back in the 90s. I saw them at St. Andrews Hall in Detroit. I think I saw them some other place in Ontario too, but again, my 90s memories are fuzzy, which means I probably had a good time. The only thing that sucks about this, the originals, like the first 1,000 pressings came with a poster. This is an original, but it doesn't have the poster with it. Mudhoney's Vanishing Point, which is I think the last record they just put out. Every Good Boy Deserves Fudge. This is an amazing record. If you haven't heard it, give it a shot. This is a reissue as well. Blood Moon, I don't know who they are. Believe it's sort of like gothic metal. Propagandy. Direct Action. Now, Direct Action is like a hardcore band from around 85. I think they're from Toronto. I know they're Canadian, but I think they were from Toronto or the Ontario at least. I could be wrong on that. There probably people are screaming at me for that. But yeah, this is a great copy. It's in really nice shape too. It's an original pressing. Descendants 96 press. Dead Kennedys 1981. In God We Trust. Blink 182. This is a 2008 pressing, I believe. Same. This is early 2000s with that one. Black Flag, this is, like, I love Black Flag, and this is actually one that I don't have. A collection of early singles and things like that. It's pretty damn nice. I'm really glad to have that. Alexis on Fire, this is a reissue. Reagan Youth, this is sort of a collection of all the early stuff. Again, check it out. Ramones, it's a 2000s 180 gram. I think it's Rhino redid that. There's another one from 2011, Rhino reissue. Probably remastered as well. Cub, great Canadian band. Box of Hair, it's a 96 original. Crimpshine, another Descendants. Oh, this is the Lowest of the Low, 2017. No doubt. Now, this is a 1996 U.S. pressing that was put out on green translucent vinyl. The first pressing was put out in 95, so this is technically a second pressing, but it's still an original 90s one, so that's a nice pickup. There are the Descendants, more Descendants, more Descendants. Blink 182, it's a reissue. I'm not sure from when. I think it's the last Foo Fighters record they put out. I'm not sure. Nirvana's In Utero. I believe it is a 2003 pressing, but I could be wrong. Still kind of shocked me how much it is. I actually used to own this record. And I can't remember if I sold it or lost it, but I don't own it anymore because I went and looked and it's not there, and I had the original. This is a reissue. If you don't own this record and you're into hardcore, you really need to find a copy. And it's good they reissued because the original was like stupidly rare. You never found it. DOA were like Canadian band again, but they blazed the trail. I mean, there's documentaries out on sort of like van touring, and DOA was the band that set it up. I mean, they're the guys who gave their club list to Black Flag when Black Flag wanted to tour outside of, like, you know, the West Coast. So AFI, I forget what colored vinyl that is. It's colored vinyl. These are all colored vinyl too. This one's never heard of. I'm not sure if it's State of Unrest or Atlas Losing Grip, but it's sealed. The Mr. T Experience, that's sealed. Millencolin, No Use for a Name. Killer Mike. Yeah, there's some hip-hop in here. Pulley, Racket Club, I've never heard of them. Don't know who that is right there. Really Red, Teaching You Fear. It's another great band to check out. Raging Nathans? Sure. Let me just set this over here so I can move these. Oh, it's Ron Hawkins. There you go. Red City Radio, Reach for the Sky, Rules, Red Fang. Yeah, these are bands I've never heard of. Modern Life is War, Modern Life is War, The Menzingers, Rented World, Masked Intruder, Matt Ellis, Left 4 Dead, Murphy's Law, sort of know them, Samian, Strike Nowhere, Sage Francis? Sure, we'll say. The Slow Death, Shallow, North Dakota. Hamiltonian band. These guys were, you know, sort of integral to the founding of the Sonic Onion label. I believe this is a reissue because I don't know if this came out on vinyl originally or not. I'm not sure. So, yeah, there's a band I don't know. Slumlords, Small Brown Bike. This is kind of cool. Don't know who the band is, but it's clearly an indie thing. Interesting artwork that's been hand pressed. 32 of them apparently were made. This is number 24. And It's like a flexi record, but like with a really cool photo on there. So that's kind of neat. I'll have to do some more looking into that. See if I can find the band for y'all. There you go. Our Lives Feed the Machine. So that's going to be an interesting thing to check out. Fat Records compilation, The Weaker Thans, A Wilhelm Scream, Heart Means Everything, World's Scariest Police Chases. I don't know. Wu-Tang, that's definitely a reissue, sadly. Wasted Potential, don't know. Against Me, Picture Disc, which is kind of nice. All, another great punk band. Nope, don't know. Don't know. Oh man, there's probably fans of these bands who are just screaming at me right now. After the Fall. Oh, yeah. So you get the idea. Let's see if we can go through all of this. Yeah, so that's it. So you know what? I think I'm going to do, call it that for this and do another video for the other group, which is sitting over here. And it has just as much great stuff in it. And then I'll do one for the 7 inches up there as well. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff you really hope to get calls about or really hope to come across. I mean, obviously you'd love to find this at a garage sale for $1 a piece. Those days are long gone. But I was happy to pick it up for the price that I did. I think I've got to be able to... it's good to have just this kind of stock in the store on a regular basis. And, you know, I mean, I've got my work cut out for me because I do have to clean these and bag them and then price them all up and put them out over to the next little while. But yeah, pretty pleased to get that. So just thought I'd pop this quick video up. I'm going to do another of these guys later. And then, yeah, like I said, do a quick flip through the 7 inches. So yeah, that's it for now. Maybe check out the second video and check back in a couple of weeks or maybe in a week for the second and third video. And I am all out of breath. My God, I'm so out of shape. That's what happens when you get to my age. Things get exciting and you lose your breath. It's just sad. It really is sad. All right, y'all. That's it for now. Check you later. Bye.